Also, I've just realised my fan is on, so if you can hear my fan, it's really hot in England, and there is 7 spiders on my windowsill outside, so I'm not opening it, so my fan's on. Alright, cool. I hate them. I hate spiders. Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new to my channel. I haven't actually sat down and filmed a video in a while. Like, I've had a backlog of videos, and we're not done. I still have 2 more videos that have, like, vlogs that have been filmed that need to go up, but we're back to actual sit down and make new content videos, which is great. Love that for me, love that for you. I'm excited about it. I also bought just a crap ton of books this summer, and I thought I was getting better because I've not necessarily read any new releases this year unless they've been big releases. So I read the Tales from the Shadow Market, I read the Red Scrolls of Magic, I've been reading Romanov, and I've been reading some new releases, but I've been pretty decent at actually looking at my bookshelf and picking books off of my bookshelf and making my way through them, because I've been needing to do that for the longest time and I've been quite good at doing it. But for some reason I have this pile and I don't know where they've come from, but they're there and I own them, so that's what this video is. The first book we have is Romanov by Nadine Brandes, and I've mentioned Nadine Brandes' books before, and she writes historical fiction but with a fantasy retelling, like a fantasy twist to them. She has a book called Fawkes, which is the Guy Fawkes history, the guy that tried to blow up Parliament way back when, that we then celebrate his existence on the 5th of November every year in England, which is, I was talking about this at work the other day, like, why do we celebrate that day? I don't know. But on the 5th of November he tried to blow up Parliament, but he was caught and the plan was foiled and he was hung, drawn and quartered, which is a lovely part of British history that we used to do to people. Fab. And I really liked Fawkes. I liked that there was a fantasy twist on it, and it focused on Guy Fawkes' son, and it was like different brands of magic against each other rather than different religious situations. So it was really good and I liked it. So I wanted to read this one, which is a retelling of the Anastasia Romanov history. And for those that don't know, Anastasia, the film, is based on a girl that existed called Anastasia Romanov, and people don't know if she, you know, history sort of says that she died, but there's lots of theories about what actually could have happened to her, and this is one of those, and this is a twist on that. And I am about halfway through, and then I stopped reading it to start on a current reread that I'm on, which a video for will be up very soon. So as soon as I finish the final book in that series, I will continue Romanov, but I'm really liking it so far. I really enjoy the way that she tells stories and how historically accurate things are, but how clever the twist is to mix in with those historically accurate aspects, which I really enjoy. Then I got Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was in Sainsbury's for £6. £6, guys. It's a hardback book that retails at £12.99 and I got it for £6. Also, the inside of this book is really cool. Love it. Earlier on this year, you may have heard if you watch this channel, I don't really talk about it that much, I read 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is another book by Taylor Jenkins Reid that everyone's been telling me to read for ages, and I didn't read because I judged a book by its cover and assumed that I wouldn't like it. Don't do that, folks. It means you miss out on really good books. I finally decided to pick up The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and it's absolutely amazing. Oh my god, like, I've got a whole review of it. I'll link it down below. You can go watch it. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's one of my all-time favourite books of all time. Top 3. Definitely. I am obsessed with it. So I realised that people telling me that Daisy Jones and the Six was also good, I probably should listen to them, and that they were actually probably very correct. So I decided to also pick up this book. This book focuses on a band called Daisy Jones and the Six, who were very big in the 1970s, and then they broke up and no one knows why, and now we are finding out the story of why that happened and kind of the band's history, and I am super excited to delve into this book. I'm planning on reading it very soon, hopefully in this month, or if not next month. I'm super excited for this. I cannot wait to actually finally delve into it. Then the next 4 all kind of tie in, so I'm just going to briefly go over them, but I got the Magnus Chase series by Rick Riordan. Magnus Chase is Annabeth Chase's cousin. Annabeth from the Percy Jackson series, love of my life. I have read Heroes of Olympus now, and I'm going on to these, so I purchased them. I actually got 2 of these for my birthday, which were in April, which isn't technically summer, but I bought the last one like last week, so we're gonna just come with the whole thing. And at the same time, I also got the Kane Chronicles, the first book in the Kane Chronicles, because I have all of the Trials of Apollo books, but I don't have these ones yet, and I just was thinking I want to go straight onto them when it's all done. So I also bought this. This is like the Egyptian legends, and these are like Norse legends, but please read the entirety of Rick Riordan's books and start with Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, which is amazing. And it's about Percy Jackson, who finds out that he is the son of a Greek god. He is a demigod. He is half human, half god, which is wonderful. And also, and what was that? Some of you may have seen that I reviewed the Lightning Thief musical, which I will link the review to that down below. It's going to Broadway! It's running for 16 weeks, starting in September. But I was very, very lucky that I did get to see the show in New York as part of its US tour earlier on this year in April. And it is magnificent. It is one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life, and I cannot stress this enough. If you are in New York, or you can get to New York and you want to go see the show, it is incredible and amazing, and the cast is wonderful, and the Broadway cast is the same cast as the tour cast, and it's just amazing. It's such an amazing adaptation to the Percy Jackson book and the Lightning Thief book, and it has the heart of the novels at its core, and it's absolutely wonderful. So just, it's incredible. So if you are able to see the Lightning Thief for its 16-week Broadway run, please do so. It's amazing. That's enough. That wasn't relevant, but like, I'm just so excited for them because they're all just fab. Then I have Tell Me How You Really Feel by Amina May Safi, and this is a book which I actually have read now. I got it back in. Why is this such a big spider? I think it's got an egg sac on it as well. Oh, I hate this. I hate it. Tell Me How You Really Feel by Amina May Safi. This book focuses on Rachel and Sana, who kind of got off to the wrong start, and they've kind of been like enemies. It's not like mean. They're not mean to each other. It's not like bullies to lovers, because I hate that. It's like cute enemies to lovers, you know what I mean? Rachel is a film student, and it's like circumstances occur in which she has to cast Sana as the lead in this role, so they start spending more time together, and we all know what happens there. I loved this book. It's sold as a love letter to Paris and Rory from Gilmore Girls, and you can totally see that like as you read it, and I just really liked this book. I just thought it was so cute and wonderful, and I loved it and would 100% recommend it. It was one of the books that I got during Pride Month, and I did speak about during Pride Month, but I hadn't actually read it properly then, so amazing. 100% would recommend. This is another book which I have read, but I had read it on my Kindle a couple months back, and then I bought the physical copy because I really loved it, and that's Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. This book focuses on Alice, who is a biromantic asexual, and her girlfriend has just broken up with her because of the asexual side of things, and she's kind of dealing with that, and she's kind of sworn off love, and she's not going to do the dating thing anymore, and then she meets a guy, and it's kind of everything that unfolds from there. I really liked this book because I really appreciated the way that it kind of explores biromantic, and that you, even if you're asexual, you can still fall in love with man or woman or, you know, any gender, and I really appreciated that, and I thought that was really good, and that it was just a very detailed exploration of being biromantic and being asexual, and I just thought it was a really good way to explore that, and dealt with it really well, because so many things are fluid and on a spectrum, and there's so many different aspects to that. It's not just as clean cut as someone's one thing or and can't be another, and I just really appreciated the way that that was explored in this book, and it's really good. I really recommend it, and yeah, just it's amazing. Then I got Ghosts from the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brenner, Marie Johnson, Kelly Link and Robin Weserman, which is the bind up of all the short Shadow Market stories that came out on ebook throughout each month last year, and this ties in with the Shadowhunters Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, which is all about Shadowhunters who are kind of half human, half Nephilim, and they protect the mundane human world from demons and the down world. If you would like to read these, they are really good. You have to start with City of Bones by Cassandra Clare and read the whole Mortal Instrument series, and there is an order. I have a whole video about the order, and I'm going to do an updated one soon, so I'll link down my previous one, and then I'll do an updated one very, very shortly. But this is really cool. Like I said, it's just the bind up of short novellas, and I love it, and I love Kit Herringdale, and I love Judd Carstairs, and I love Tessa Gray. Actual loves of my life. Then, even though these books did come out in, I think, like April time, I haven't hauled them and they're relevant, so I got The Red Scrolls of Magic, which is the Eldest Curses books, which is a short novella set between City of Glass and City of Fallen Angels, focusing on Magnus and Alec's vacation in Europe. And I got the one with the red pages, and then I got the Rune edition, because Magnus and Alec are two of my OG faves from the Shadowhunter Chronicles, and I had to get both. I gave this book 4 stars, which is one of the very rare occurrences in which a Shadowhunters book gets rated 4 stars, but it just didn't feel the same as the others. I did really like it, it just felt a little bit different. But if you're a Magnus and Alec fan, if you're a Shadowhunters fan, you gotta read it, because it's part of the journey and it's wonderful. Then, this is exciting. So, if you follow me on my social media, you will have seen, possibly, that in May, which is, so end of May, so I'm counting it as summer, even though May is actually spring. Okay, we're fine. End of May. Or early June, is picture perfect? No. Right. So I went to Comic Con the day before. I met her with my friend, and I was showing her around London and showing her all my favourite parts of Soho, and we went to Forbidden Planet, as is custom in showing someone around the favourite nerdy spots of London town. And while we were in Forbidden Planet, I picked up Darkness on the Edge of Town by Adam Christopher, which is one of the Stranger Things tie-in novels that exists in the world now. There was the one about Terry Ives, Elle's mom, and everything that happened with her in the lab when she first met Brenna. There's the one about Max. There's the comic books, which actually, on the matter, I got the first 2 comic books in the number 6 series, which is all about the number 6, like, and her journey in the lab. In this one, we meet number 95, which is insane. How many are there? Like, how many numbers are there? Who knows? Like, I am so interested to find out more about the people in the lab and the numbers, and the girl that is number 95 is older than Elle, so I just need to know. I just need all the information. But anyway, that was often on a tangent, but that's okay. When I was there, I picked up this book, and this is about Hopper and his life in the city before he moved back to Forks after Forks? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god. I've been rereading Twilight. You need to leave me alone. When he moved back to Hawkins. Before he moved back to Hawkins, when he was a city cop, before everything that happened with Sarah and his wife, and it actually starts and he's talking to Elle, like she's asking about his life, and it's kind of him telling the story. I thought this book was super interesting, but it's also amazing because it's signed by Adam Christopher, which is a really, really cool, and we love a signed book, which is fab, which is here. But then, guys, there's a Comic Con, and not only did I meet Sebastian Stan, I met David Harbour. Within 3 hours, I met Sebastian Stan and David Harbour, and it was a bit of a day, but I bought this the day before, so I took it just in case, because I knew he was going to be there, but I was like undecided on if I was like going to meet him and stuff. So he signed it, and it says, "Lauren, tell me what happens to Hopper, please." And he spelled please with a Z, which is hilarious. I'm going to do a review of this book, and I'm going to tweet it at him because he wants to know what happened, and I can tell him because he would like to know. I would really, really recommend the bonus Stranger Things stuff. It's really, really good. I'm not necessarily like a huge fan of like additional content, which is lots of different forms of media that you have to kind of collect, but I am a massive fan of additional content, and it's not necessary additional content, which is good, because I don't like it when they say, okay, you have to read these to understand season 4 or whatever. Because it's like, no, because then not everyone's going to know about it and not many people's going to understand. But bonus content, which isn't necessary to your enjoyment of the main thing. For example, you don't have to read these books to enjoy Stranger Things on Netflix. But they add bonus content to people that really want to know the bonus content, and that's what I really like about them, and they're super good, and they're really, really well written, and they're done really well. So I would recommend them if you are a fan of Stranger Things. Then I got Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia, and I've been meaning to read this book for ages, and everyone's been telling me that it's super good and I need to read it, so I need to get on it and actually finally do that. This book focuses on Eliza, who is kind of a little bit shy and awkward in real life, but she is the creator of a massive webcomic called Monstrous Sea, and then one of the biggest fan fiction writers of Monstrous Sea ends up moving to her school, and her online life kind of becomes a IRL life, and it's kind of dealing with everything that comes with that. I've been told this book is amazing and that I should read it and that I will love it, and I'm definitely a fan of fan fiction and the internet, so I am super excited to finally delve into this book. It's been a long time since I have known about it and gotten around to getting it. I saw it in Waterstones the other day for the first time ever, and I was like, oh my god, I need it. So I'm super excited to finally delve into Eliza and her monsters. Then I did something which I rarely do, and that was buy an edition of a book I've already got. I got Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Look at this cover! It's amazing! It has Simon and Baz on it, and I love it so much. And I've been wanting to reread Carry On before Wayward Son comes out. No, this is a third edition of Carry On which I own, which is fine, we're all good. But no, I really love this. It's just such a pretty cover, and it matches the like collector's one of Wayward Son, which is coming out, which is gorgeous. So I'm super excited to reread it because it has been like 4 years since I read this book. For those that don't know, Rainbow Rowell has a book called Fangirl, and in Fangirl, Kath writes fanfiction, and one of the fanfiction that she writes is a Carry On, and then Rainbow Rowell released Carry On as an actual thing, and it focuses on Simon Snow, who is the world's worst chosen one, and he thinks his roommate might be a vampire, and he goes to Watford School of Magics, and he's just dealing with lots of stuff going on in his magical life. It's essentially Drarry, that's what it is, that's what Carry On is, but it's amazing and wonderful, and I can't recommend it enough. But it's like good Drarry, not like toxic, he bullied him for years Drarry. It's like good enemies to lovers Drarry. Do you know what I mean? You get me? Yeah, it's good. I really like it. So I would recommend it, and I'm excited to reread it, and I'm so excited for Wayward Son to come out super soon as well. Then I got Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins, which is another one that I've heard loads of things about. You guys know me well enough to know that I love any books with girls that love other girls, and FF books are my favourite, and I love them. Literally the majority of what I've read this year has been that. So I love this, and everyone was telling me that this was really good, and it focuses on Millie, who finds out that her kind of best friend but also kind of girlfriend has been kissing other people, and she's super sad, and as you would be, understandably, I would be very sad if I found out that my sort of girlfriend was kissing someone else. So she kind of decides that she's going to start again and move on, as she applies for boarding schools in a different place, far away, in Houston, I believe. Am I right? Oh, I'm right. No, she's going far from Houston. She goes to Scotland. I was close. I knew Houston was involved. And there she has a new roommate who is like the actual princess of Scotland, like a legitimate princess. They don't like each other at first, but then it starts to kind of, things go from there, and suddenly Millie finds herself with another sort of girlfriend, and it's everything she's dealing with that. I am so excited to read this. It's super short. I think I'm going to take it on holiday with me. I'm going on holiday soon, and I need to just sit by the pool, sit on a beach, and just read lots of books is my plan for the week. So I'm super excited to finally read this because everyone's been telling me it's really good, and I can't wait to actually delve into it. So there we go. And finally, this is a big boy, alright? And it's your guys' fault that I bought this book. Absolutely your fault, because everyone told me it was really good and it's amazing, and don't be intimidated by the size because it's an amazing book. So it's your fault. Like, it's all your fault. That's The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Look at this book. It's huge. So this book focuses on the House of Brethnet is what I believe is how you say it, and they have ruled Inez for a really long time. Inez Inys, I-N-Y-S. There are some tricky words that my brain can't process properly in this book. And Queen Saban IX has kind of, to protect her realm, needs to conceive a child, but the enemies are kind of drawing closer and her time is running out. Then we have Iad, who's a kind of outsider at the court, but she's been silently protecting Queen Sabran with forbidden magic. There's the West and the East kind of against each other, and there's like lots of other characters involved, and it's kind of that story. But that's all I know about it as of so far. but everyone's been telling me it's really good from people whose opinions I really trust and whose sort of reviews that I have always agreed with. I've heard so many good things about this book. It's my first Samantha Shannon books. I'm super excited. There's dragons in it. There's a girl in it who has been training to be a dragon rider for her whole life apparently, and I love me some dragons. I've heard nothing but praise about this book and I really want to read it. I think this is going to be like my winter book, like the book I read over the winter months. I need to be in the complete correct frame of mind to delve into this boy, but I'm excited and I am looking forward to it, and I will of course do a review when I am done. What does it look like naked actually? I've just read, oh, it's actually quite boring. It's just blue. Okay, that's fine. So yes, so that was my summer book haul and the books that I've collected over the summer. I hope that you liked it. I'd love to know your thoughts on any of these books, the ones I haven't read particularly. I'd love to know what you guys thought of them and which ones I should start with and which ones I have to read right now. And of course I would also love to know the ones on your opinion on the ones that I've read and that you have also read, so that we can chat about them together. If you guys are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things, so if you want to stick around and join us, then you can do that. And as usual, all the links to my other social media is in the description down below, so if you want to come hang out with me on there, then you can do that as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really well, and I will see you next time. Bye!